Hello guys, here I am back again with another video. Here's my week 3 match for the BCF. I know it's I think over about a week or so that I uploaded my week 2 match. I've been busy. Meanwhile, these battles all happened a few weeks ago, but I'm trying to catch up. I'm trying to. Ideally, I want to have a battle up every few days, maybe at least every week, and I try to do that. And so this week we're now in week 3, and yeah, I face the Jirachis, coached by AJ, and he's also in my division. So he's my division rival. I play him twice this season, and yeah, those are the most important matches of the season because the best guy in the division goes to the playoffs, and also the second and the rest of the guys have to earn a wild card, and that goes into conference, and they have to compete with the others in the other conference. So yeah, I'm trying to be in the first place, and to be in first place I have to beat all my division rivals at least once, and yeah, preferably twice. And then if I beat all 3 guys twice, then I have already 6 wins. They have already 2 losses each, so that put me in a great spot. So enough rambling about that I need to win this. Over on the team preview, and I do this every week. I go over the teams for a bit. I reveal this. Sometimes I reveal some sets, sometimes I don't. If there are sets that haven't been revealed in a match, and I think it's for my best it is to not reveal the sets, because then they can be used later on the season maybe. But I want to add something else, and I hope I will do it in the layout. You will see my team, my 12 months, and his 12 months where we could choose from, and I will now quickly go over what did I expect, why did I bring these months, why not others, and for the same for like his team. And I think this will add a bit to the teams, to the team preview, and to how my thinking of team building went. His team consists of Mega Slowbro, Talonflame, Keldeo, Florges, Ferrothorn, Kyurem, Heracross, Tyrantrum, Delphox, Pikachu, Skuntank, and Clank. So, first, what I noticed, his Mega Slowbro. Right off the bat, a really scary mon. Some commands up can really sweep a team, as it doesn't. Yeah, that's the nice thing about Mega Slowbro. It can be critted, so you have to really take it out. Then, after Mega Slowbro, then came Talonflame. Talonflame could be like Choice Band. Also Priority Brave Bird, really scary, and also it could be the special defensive evolve like Bulk Up or Swords Dance set. So a really scary sweeper. Then Keldeo, I thought okay, Keldeo, it could come like Specs or Scarfed, but I have a Jellicent on my team that can quite good deal with Keldeo. And then Florges had a decent matchup. It was like really nice for the Hydreigon, as can take any hit, barring maybe 2 like steel type moves like Flash Cannons, if I would fire off strong life ups, so Flash Cannons or something. Then Ferrothorn, he could bring Ferrothorn for like Stealth Rock, Spike stacking, but other than that I didn't think it would put too much for my team. Kyurem he could bring, but the nice thing about Kyurem for my team was that it didn't get the coverage Kyurem Black gets, so it gets like kind of walled by some of my mons. So I had like checks for Kyurem. Heracross could be Scarfed, could hit really hard, had like a 4 move slot syndrome versus my team. So yeah, I need to play around it, but at its speed there were a lot of my team that could either or revenge it, or if it is Scarfed I could switch in accordingly. Then Tyrantrum was like, after with Slowbro, the biggest threat for my team. I didn't have a switch for Tyrantrum. It gets the coverage to hit everything that resist his stabs in rock and dragon moves, and that are really strong stabs. With Dragon Dance he can easily set up, he even boosts his attack, or he could go Scarfed, so he already outspeeds, and maybe even Rock Polish, but then so it had really a lot of options, and it was really scary for my team. So I had to take that into account. Then Delphox, he could bring it. There were some things for it, but Delphox also struggled with having coverage for all the mons on my team, alongside with the fact that it could be outsped and killed, or outsped by Scarfers and killed. So ideally I didn't see it really coming, but it could come. Then Pikachu, it could bring it. I have Crocodile, I have a Nidoqueen, I have my immunities to electric type, so I didn't think it would come. Then Skuntank, I thought Skuntank could come because it was its only hazard removal. It gets defog, which is a nice move. It's always nice to have hazard removal, especially as against the team, against my team, because I have hazard stack options. And yeah, Skuntank also can quite good deal with H-Slash, good Pursuit Trap, something like Jellicent, so that was a really good mon to bring. And then as last mon he has Klinklang. Klinklang just, it can set up, and that's scary, but because he doesn't get good coverage, even if it sets up one shift gear or something, I would be able to handle it with some mons on my team. So yeah, then what I was thinking, mons that I could bring, I ended up bringing the Megalopen, the Hydreigon, the Jellicent, the Nidoqueen, the H-Slash and the Rotom Heat. I think in the match you will see the sets for yourself, as I will quickly go over the sets in the match itself. I think that's best, because there are some sets that are for specific mons, and I would love to show it off when it actually happens. I think that's the best way to go, because I can now reveal all the sets, and then you see in the battle, oh yeah, it worked. But if you don't know the sets, or maybe it didn't even work, but if you don't see the sets and then you see the match, and yeah, I think that's the best way to go this week. As for his team, he ended up bringing the Mega Slowbro as expected, Talonflame as expected. He brought Keldeo, I think he could bring it, but I know I have the Jellicent, so who knows. He ended up bringing the Tyrantrum, it was really scary, I had to look out for it, and he ended up bringing the Skuntank, which I kinda expected, but still could put in some work. And then he ended up with bringing Delphox. Didn't quite expect Delphox, didn't really know what kind of Delphox he would bring. I thought maybe a Life Orb attacker, maybe a Calm Mind setter. I was thinking something along those lines he would bring. As for the other mons, was kinda scouting for what kind of mons it were. And yeah, I ended up just bringing those 6, and yeah, other options we both have. He could have brought his Florges. I kinda expected Florges, as it kinda stopped Hydreigon, because now at Team Preview what I noticed was, okay, he doesn't really have a Hydreigon switch besides Revenge with like a Scarf mon. So Hydreigon was really a win content for me in this match, and for him, yeah, I needed to look out for Calm Mind Slowbro, and I needed to look out for the Tyrantrum, what kind of set that was. And yeah, I didn't bring things like Togekiss, because he just had a lot of things to deal with Togekiss. Tyrantrum itself really hits it hard, and other mons Togekiss it could have brought, but I ended not bring Togekiss. Yeah, Crocodile, it has this Dark type, but still Mega Slowbro kind of beats it, Keldeo beats it. It doesn't really take care of Tyrantrum, and Talonflame it doesn't. Florges like hard walls it, so yeah, Heracross kills it nicely. So yeah, Crocodile wasn't really a bring. Xelgor I didn't really want it for spike stacking. I figured that This time that wasn't really the best option, because he has defog. He can always defog if he wants, and he probably ended up bringing the Scan tank. So no Excelgor. Armaldo didn't have the matchup I wanted it to have. It also gets nuked by a whole lot of his team. Ludicolo, same story, not really that much of a matchup, and Berkeley also didn't. So I ended up with those 6, and yeah, I will now start the match, and then we kind of will see. I will reveal the sets along the match. So first off, what I thought also about his team, I already said, not really much for Hydreigon. And the other thing was he didn't have a ground type, and it's something on his draft. He kind of took over from someone else, and he had to make some changes, and he ended up with no ground type. So he didn't really have an electric immunity. He has some resist, but I thought, okay, let me lead off with Rotom Heat. Rotom Heat this week is a Scarf Rotom Heat. It has the Volt Switch, it has the T-Bolt, it has the Overheat, and yeah, that's pretty much his coverage. And as last move he has, I think I run Trick for if in need be. And yeah, I thought, okay, just let me lead off with it, and he leads off with Delphox. And first I was thinking, okay, yeah, he doesn't really have an immunity Volt Switch. I will see now what kind of Delphox is he. Is he kind of bulky to take this hit? Is he maybe even Scarfed and he will outspeed me? I don't know. So I just went for Volt Switch, and he switched out, I think. So I thought, okay, maybe he isn't Scarfed, and yeah, he switched out because he wants to keep Delphox for something else. He goes into Tyrantrum, resists the Volt Switch, and yeah, I go into something that can nuke Tyrantrum and outspeeds it right off the bat, and even if it's Scarf, take a hit. That was my Nidoqueen. Nidoqueen is like an offensive Nidoqueen with Life Orb, and yeah, I go for the safe Earth Power here, thinking, okay, if he stays in, I kill him. If he doesn't stay in, he doesn't really have a switch into this Earth Power besides Talonflame, but I don't think he would go make a hard switch into Talonflame at this point in time. So yeah, I go Earth Power on the Keldeo, does a really big chunk of damage. I switch in Jellicent because I think Jellicent can take every one hit. See the hidden power and think, oh no, maybe it's this Specs HP Electric that could possibly maybe be a 2-hit KO. But no, it's hidden power and it does neutral to me. And I was like wondering, okay, what kind of hidden power is this? And I was looking over my team, and I think up to this point I still don't really have it figured out. I think it may be the fact that something went wrong with his hidden power, and it was like hidden power, I don't know, hidden power something, and it should have been hidden power electric, or maybe it should have been hidden power grass, maybe, because hidden power electric wouldn't hit Nidoqueen, but he obviously predicted switch. So yeah, I was a bit wondered what happened here, but I thought, okay, let's play on. And I think even for the HP electric, I specifically had Balkan Berry on this Jellicent for the HP electric on Keldeo, so I could even easily take a couple of HP electrics, and besides being Specs, it wouldn't even 2-hit KO without the berry. So okay, I go into Jellicent, and yeah, okay, let me talk about this play, because here are some bad things can happen. Why? Okay, I see his Keldeo is being in. My Jellicent has Scald, it has Toxic, it has Recover, and I think as last move it had Taunt. But I think, okay, what do I need to do? And I thought, should I go Scald? What is this really a Scald switching? Scald switching is either staying in or going into Slowbro. But either way, burning Slowbro is also kinda nice, because it then takes 12% every turn and it gets whittled that way. He could go into Talonflame if he's Spadef Talonflame for taking this Scald. So I think maybe Slowbro, maybe Talonflame, maybe staying in, but even staying in doesn't really do much for him. So I think either Talonflame or Slowbro. So I think, okay, let me go for Toxic. It hits like almost everything except the Skuntank, but I don't think. But in hindsight, I should have thought, oh yeah, Jellicent is my only stop. If you look at my team, kinda my only stop to Keldeo. Besides, if it's choice locked, if it looks into water move, I have a switch. If it looks itself into a fighting type move, I have a switch. So yeah, I kinda have to bank on the fact that it was choice locked if Jellicent goes down, and I have to face the Keldeo. And I think by the damage, it could have been choice locked, something like choice. Yeah, I don't know. I think I noticed that it was probably choice locked. But yeah, let's see what's going on. So I go for Toxic, and yeah, he switched in his Skuntank, and that's immune to Toxic. So this is turning out really bad for me, because he got his Skuntank into for free. And I didn't think he would go this play, because if I went Scald and got the burn, I had a free switch, because a burned pursuit wouldn't do that much to me. I assumed at this point I was more Spadef Jellicent for the Keldeo and other Spadef mons, but I think I still, if he was burned, could quite nicely take a pursuit and while come in later on against some of the special mons like the Keldeo and heal up there. But I should have thought about the Skuntank play and just went for Scald, or even make the double, because why stay in with Keldeo as it clearly couldn't do like much to me, and Skuntank was like a really solid and easy play. So at this point I think, okay, I might be pursuit trapped, and I don't think if I switch out I live a pursuit trap if he's like more offensively, but I still don't know what kind of Skuntank he is, so I think I just stay in, and I think I either go for the recover or for the Scald. I don't remember anymore, this match was some time ago. I think I go for Scald, and yeah, he just crunches me and I die. So that was a bit unfortunate. The only good part is that this gives me a switch into Hydreigon, and that pretty much gets a kill every time it comes in, because he doesn't really have much for it. And he reveals to be Life Orb, so I know it's more like an offensive Skuntank. And yeah, I'm also Life Orb on Hydreigon, and I have a move that's called Draco Meteor, so I decided to drop a Draco here, and he decided to sack his Keldeo. And I was really okay, get a crit doesn't matter, easy kill. And I was really happy to see that he sacks his Keldeo. I kinda get why he sacked his Keldeo, because yeah, it was probably choiced in some way, so it had to kind of predict what I was going to do for it to put in some work. And he kind of needed the other mons, as Slowbro Tyrantrum could sweep my team, Talonflame was a nice mon to keep like Megalopony in check, Skuntank could still deal with like Aegislash, and Defog has its away. And I still don't know with what Delphox was, but with the coverage it had, and not being choiced, Delphox could possibly put in more work than Keldeo. So, okay, I drop to -2, Keldeo goes down, he goes Tyrantrum. And here, yeah, I think he goes Tyrantrum, I do some calcs, I see, okay, even at -2, a Draco Meteor kills. So why make this play? So I think he is Scarfed. Why otherwise would he make this play? So if he's Scarfed, he kind of needs to click either Head Smash or Dragon Claw, because if I stay in, he has a problem. So I think I saw this and I thought, okay, what's my resist to Rock and Dragon? It's my Aegislash, so I go out into Aegislash. And this man is a lord. He just subs up here, totally bluffing the Scarf right in my face. I was when I saw this, I was like kind of clapping and thinking, oh shit, this could be a problem, because Tyrantrum is already scary for my team, and now it's even behind the sub. But I have my Aegislash, and it's in his defensive form, so it can take hits, and I just go for the flash cannon to break his sub. This Aegislash has the King Shield, the flash cannon, the Shadow Ball, and I think as last move it has Rock Slide for the Talonflame. So I go for flash cannon, break his up, and then the next turn I'm thinking, okay, he might predict me to go for King Shield and go for something like sub or D-Dance again, so let me just go for flash cannon again. I go for flash cannon, and here's an important turn, because this is something I didn't quite tell you guys, because you will see what's going to happen, and that's something really nice. He goes for EQ, he gets a crit, and I think to myself, no, because it pops my Shaka, as you see, and I think, okay, if he is like Life Orb with the crit, this could kill, but luckily he isn't Life Orb, and the Earthquake didn't kill, because that would mean that due to the crit, the Earthquake would have killed, and yeah, it's after that it would maybe be GG, or I have to maybe sack another one. So yeah, that was luckily I survived, and I kill him off with flash cannon. And that was the nice thing about Aegislash this week. This was the sole purpose of Aegislash this week. I didn't have a Tarentum check, but I saw Aegislash could take the rock hits easily, could take the dragon hits easily, but I saw that Tarentum gets the EQ coverage. So I thought to myself, why not bring like a defensive Aegislash, full HP, full defense, take on the Tyrantrum's hits, and if he then goes for EQ, I have the Shaka Barrier, I can take that EQ even in my blade form as I showed, which is the form that has only base 50 defenses. I can take the hit and I kill him back with flash cannon. So I decided to go special because Tyrantrum has a better defense stat. He could take iron heads but not flash cannons from full. And I take out the Tyrantrum here, and I'm so happy that that threat is out of the way and that this Aegislash set worked out perfect. So he brings in Delphox, and I think, okay, Aegislash did his job, let me just go for Shadow Ball. If he goes for like Calm Mind, I think Shadow Ball still is my best play, or maybe he goes for Substitute, predicting something, or he makes he Dazzling Gleams, predicting the Dragon, so just Shadow Ball. And I think here he either predicts my switch, or he scouts for the Shadow Sneak, or he predicts me going for the King Shield, scouting what he's going to do, and he switches into his Skuntank, who does kind of take this Shadow Ball kind of well. And I think to myself, okay, Aegislash isn't that important anymore, but there might be that he goes now for Crunch or Pursuit. So let me go for King Shield, get that -2 attack drop, and yes, he goes for Crunch, and I get the drop, and I'm calcing, I max defense. This may be a roll to kill now, so I just went for Flash Cannon, my strongest move to hit this, and maybe I can take it, maybe not, it doesn't really matter to me anymore, it would be nice. And he feels to also pack the Fire Blast, so he has coverage on both Spectra. The Fire Blast was like a move to, I think it also, on my team, it would also hit something like the Excelgor, which I could have brought, and it also hit the Aegislash on the other side, which is nice in this regard. So I send out my Nidoqueen, I think he's -2 attack, I max HP, I'm offensive Life Orb, and yeah, he's probably going to switch, so I take this as an opportunity to set up my Stealth Rocks. And yes, this Nidoqueen packs the Stealth Rocks, it has Life Orb, and it packs the two-step moves, Earth Power, Sludge Wave, and its last move it has the Thunderbolt. And I'm doing calcs here, and I kind of mess up here, because with my calcs, and this was like, I was calcing a more defensively Slowbro, like I don't know what, but I was thinking max HP, max defense, something along that way, maybe a bit special defense, but not much, because yeah, that takes on low pony the best. Normally it does take low pony either way, but I thought, okay, maybe that's what he's going to do. And I saw, okay, I packed the Thunderbolt, it's Life Orb, Sheer Force boosted, and even if he Calm Minds now, I thought Thunderbolt before Calm Mind plus Thunderbolt after Calm Mind would still kill. So I thought it would do 60, minimal 66 now, and then it would do 33. Am I saying that right? Yeah, I don't know. But in either I thought I would kill with 2 T-bolts here. But then, yeah, and here's where I messed up, because the first T-bolt did only do 58% and he Calm Minds up, and that means he gets a 1.5 boost, and now I know my next T-bolt isn't gonna kill and he's just gonna go recover off this damage. And I thought, oh shit, I fucked up, because if this Slowbro decides to set up more Calm Minds, this could be this would be a really scary match then. But I'm thinking to myself, okay, what do I need to do? What would be his set? It's Calm Mind, it's a recovery move, it's probably Scald, and he has one last move. And I thought, okay, his last move probably is the Psychic. He could back the Ice Beam, but because he was Calm Mind, I thought I think he's not Calm Mind. He's not the Ice Beam variant. Why? Because then he can't hit Jellicent. And so I go into Hydreigon, because I don't think he would go Ice Beam here. Even if he goes Ice Beam, I can take it, even at +1, because he doesn't have the because he isn't especially invested offensively. And yeah, he probably recovers here. That is nice for me. If he decides to put up a Calm Mind here, even then it's not that scary, because he's then only at 42%. So I go into Hydreigon. He recovers up as predicted, he slacks off, and yeah, here is the play. And if I didn't have this move, I think it was like a last minute, not a last minute change, but I was talking to Anthony about the team, and he's kind of before I built, like I was starting to build, and he said, yeah, you should bring like an offensive Nidoqueen. I ended up bringing that, and he said, yeah, maybe Taunt on Hydreigon could be nice. I was thinking, Taunt on Hydreigon, why do I need it? And I think there was some point in time when I was trying to sleep and I was thinking about the match and I was thinking about Mega Slowbro, and then it occurred to me that if Slowbro would set up Calm Minds all over me, all over a Mon, or Hydreigon would only beat Slowbro without Taunt if it goes 1v1, but if it has previously set up one Calm Mind, I wouldn't beat it without Taunt. And when that occurred to me, I was, oh, I need Taunt on my Hydreigon. So I put Taunt on my Hydreigon, and that works out perfectly, because I taunt him here as he wants to go for Calm Mind again, and then I can take him out with 2 Dark Pulses, because I can easily take a Scald. And yeah, even if he goes Ice Beam, I could have taken it. And he goes for Scald, he gets the crit, which is kind of unfortunately, because my Hydreigon has no recovery and it has the Life Orb, so it has less hits in it. It can take less hits now, but I know an extra Dark Pulse is going to kill, but he kind of saves his Slowbro. Maybe he wants to keep it as a kind of a death fodder, or maybe he wants to recover up on an Ottomon. And yeah, I go Dark Pulse, and it doesn't take out Skuntank, but it leaves it really low. And I know I'm faster than Skuntank, and I know it may back the Sucker Punch, but it may well or not. But if he goes Sucker Punch, I switch out, he loses a lot of momentum. And if I go into something like Lopunny, I kind of get a free Mega then. So I kind of think Hydreigon, Slowbro is low enough that every mon can kill it. Talonflame outspeeds, Delphox outspeeds Hydreigon, so I think, okay, I don't really need it anymore, just go for Dark Pulse here and see if he doesn't have Sucker. He doesn't have Sucker. I kill off the Skuntank, and it's now 3 versus 4. He goes into Talonflame, he takes Stealth Rocks, which is really nice because he can't remove as it's now. And he just Brave Birds me to death. I'm not switching out, not taking that risk. I'm going into my Scarf Rotom Heat. I know I can take Brave Bird easily, and I know Thunderbolt's my best play because it hits like everything on his team quite hard. he sacks his Slowbro off and I kill his Slowbro. And here are some weird things, maybe, because he goes back into Talonflame taking another Stealth Rocks. And you might think, why not go into Delphox? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he kinda wants to know if I'm scarfed Rotom Heat or not, or something along those lines. Because I go before Talonflame here. So that even meant that Talonflame didn't go for like Roost or Brave Bird, but it went for a move that was not a flying type, because that gets not affected by Gale Wings. And that way I had sped it and killed it. And after the match, I will talk to you guys about what would have happened if he didn't sack off his Talonflame here. Probably steer him on that, so I don't know. So he says at this point GG, and this is something you don't do. Don't say GG when the match is not over. I have 3 months, he has 1 month, that's true, but still, I can still lose. But he thinks I can't, but it's over when it's over and not before. So he goes before me and Psychoke does over 50%. So I think, oh, he is Scarf Delphox all alone, and I didn't quite expect it, because Delphox needs coverage for my teams. I have 2 Dark types and other mons that resist Psychic moves or Fire type moves, so I didn't think he would bring like Scarf, and that meant that it outsped even my Rotom. So I get a hit off with Rotom, I get a crit T-Bolt. You will see later on that didn't really matter, but this meant that I had to kind of let my Rotom go here, and yeah, I'm really low. And at this point I think, okay, what should I do? I ended up going into Lopunny. You may think, okay, you go fake out, easy game, easy. But this week I decided not to pack the fake out. I had some other set, and yeah, he didn't expect it. So he thought it was over, and I thought, okay, we don't have the rule of Megaing first turn. So I thought, Lopunny, not Mega Evolved. I was calcing. Psyshock would do like half to 50% to me, and yeah, return easily, even not Mega. It's still stab. It's a bit weaker, but it still does like 50% or something. So hence the crit doesn't really matter, and I take the Psyshock and I take him out with a return here. And yeah, that was GG to AJ. It was really a great game. And yeah, I will talk about 2 things. One, I make this Lopunny play because 1, it's according to our rules, and 2, I could have gone Nidoqueen and taken up Psyshock because I was calcing. Nidoqueen could take like Psyshock, it would take like 90% from. I think it would take around 90%. I think even if he was Modder Scarfed, it might have been a roll on me. Don't quote me on that, but I think from the damage he was Timid Scarfed. But I was thinking, yeah, if he crits me, then Nidoqueen is dead for no reason because I can go Lopunny. So I went Lopunny. So technically, if you consider that he could have had his Talonflame here, because Talonflame would come in right about now. Why would Talonflame come in now and not earlier? It couldn't come in on a switch because it would take Stealth Rock damage as it did before, would be at 2%, wouldn't take any hit. So Talonflame comes in now. What would happen? Now Talonflame would kill Lopunny. I would probably Mega Evolve and go for return if he decides to roost, because return easily does over half. And yeah, he would kill me. I would go into Nidoqueen. Nidoqueen was still at fully HP, so at full HP it could take any hit of Talonflame. It could take any Brave Bird, even if it was Choice Banded. If he was Choice Band, I could take easily a Brave Bird, and Thunderbolt would be a one hit KO. If it was like the Spadef Talonflame with a setup move, Thunderbolt was like 2 hit KO, and he wouldn't be at full because he would come in at 2%, and if he killed Low Pony right away, he would die to recall. If he decided to roost up, I might have even killed it with Low Pony, so at the end that didn't really matter. So yeah, GG to AJ and the Jirachis, and I hope to see you in a couple of weeks, because I don't know which week, but we face each other again in the regular season, and this really was a great match, so I look forward to that other match. So yeah, that's about it guys for this week, and I hope to see you next week. So yeah, bye.